The truth might taste bitter, so I tell them spit it out, yeah. So I tell them spit it out. Get my money, weed, and liquor, but that's not what I'm about, nah. I feel great. I get stressed on haters who ain't in my grade. Yeah. Episode 7, Big Buddha Podcast. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We're gonna do it live. Sorry for the delayed drop, everybody. It seems I am 2 days late, 3 inches and $4 short. It's the story of my fucking life. But nevertheless, we are here doing the dang thing. And my name is Buddha, and this is the podcast. Free thinkers are welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 7. I'm excited about it. I know I promised a guest the last episode, and the guest you shall receive, but not right now. The guest is not here with me right now. This is a late night podcast. I just decided to drop an episode in promotion almost for that episode, in a way you could say. I guess I'll go ahead and announce it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. My guest, my first guest and first honorable guest is my homie, my partner in rhyme, and a good friend of mine. His name is CJ Mack, and he's the other Skull Kid in my group that I'm in. And like I said, he's a great friend, a musical confidant, and he's going to be an awesome person to interview, and we'll make awesome content. Me and him have all kinds of cool stories for y'all, and some inside jokes, and he has some awesome opinions on his own. He's a really cool guy, and I'm stoked to be interviewing him. Stoked to know him, stoked to interview him, and it's going to be a good time. Do not miss that episode. Episode 8 will be huge. CJ Mack on the attack. Big Buddha Podcast coming up soon. 2 days, actually, from now. I just got back, actually, as a matter of fact. Last Wednesday, I embarked on a journey. I drove out of my little bubble, and I went out to a place called Ironton, Missouri, and it's about an hour and a half from where I live. It's not too far, but it's really nice. There's a place out there called Lake Hannah Properties, and a friend of ours. It's a private place, but if you own property out there, you can be in the community, and it was super duper nice. Went out there with some really good friends of mine, and we had some good times. There's just something about going on a camping trip, getting out, away from everything, and we of course were indulging in some recreational activities, and that was nice. It's always nice whenever you're out. We weren't like necessarily roughing it. We had electricity and we had some campers and stuff like that, but it was, other than that, I mean, it was really quite beautiful. I had no cell service at all for fucking 4 days, so that you don't really notice how like unusual that is until you can't do it. And I don't know, I find that I'm on Facebook and all these other apps so often that I don't even realize it and how much time it's really taken up, and the days seem so much longer. You seem to really enjoy life more whenever you don't have that at your disposal, and so that was nice because I had no bars. I have like a Walmart phone. I'm sorry, I gotta clear my throat. Sorry. I have a Walmart phone anyway, and it doesn't work out there in mid-Missouri. Turns out that but that's cool, man. It was like down in like a valley. There were like some bluffs around, and so I blame that as the culprit. But yeah, the lakes were super nice, and I did some psychedelic exploration in nature, and that's like a beautiful thing. I'm just saying, like, if you haven't done that specifically, get away and try that, because it is super duper nice. I recommend it. 10 out of 10 would recommend, my friend. Tripping in nature, tripping while on a camping trip. Everybody do that shit. Even just getting stoned in nature, like smoking weed and going out in nature. I feel like it like centers you with the earth in some way. You know what I mean? I feel closer to nature. Like, I think I matter, or I understand that like all of everything is matter, and so I feel like I feel closer to nature as a human being because human beings are a part of nature. We are a living thing, as are the plants and animals around us are living things, and it's a cohesive thing. We're not separate. I think that's the vanity of man, for us to believe like, oh, we're a separate thing. Like, maybe we are aliens, but I mean, if we're not, then we are of this earth. And you never really seem to appreciate that until you're until you're super stoned in nature and you understand in that way. But being away from technology definitely was nice, and a nice change of pace for a little minute. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, once I got back, my phone was blowing up, and it was nice to have human interaction again. That's one good thing about technological evolution, is just that we're able to communicate with each other at such a high rate from long distance and all that good stuff. But honestly, like, there's people from high school I haven't seen in 10 years. I still talk to them, but it's only on Facebook or something. So, and they live in my hometown. like we could get together anytime we want, but it's not like that type of friendship. It's just something we do. Like, we're talking online, stay in contact with each other. So social media is good for you in that regard. But it does take up way too much time, in my opinion. So, like, there are pros and cons of technological evolution. I think one thing is, like, that there is less human contact, and that kind of worries me. Because human interaction and human contact, like, after a camping trip, I just went out there with a bunch of my friends, and, like, that's never been more important to me than right now, after having that good of an experience. Because, you spend days, and this has been my experience going to a music festival I've gone to the last 5 years, with the same people, pretty much. And the thing is, you spend these days with these people, and if you're like me, you come home and, like, you're alone, which is good. Like, I don't get me wrong, I was relieved. You spend too much time with people, and that's also a bad thing. But spending so much time with these people, waking up, and then having people there to talk to and you share stories with and all that stuff, like, it fills your heart and your soul. You feel really full, and that's a beautiful thing. Human interaction is super important, and when you don't have those things, if you're just relying on technology, or maybe it's COVID or whatever you're scared of, that's keeping you from human interaction and human contact. On top of that, hugs and even skin on skin, or like if you have romantic contact at your disposal, like that, all that shit's important for your soul and for your mind and for just your general needs as a human being, to feed this brain that operates, sends signals throughout your whole body. And it's like mental health, I heard, that's good for your physical health, and vice versa. I don't know, I'm not very physically healthy yet, but I feel like I'm working on the mental shit right now, and then hopefully the physical will follow. Hopefully that's a cohesive thing for me. But when you don't have human interaction, I think that's when you notice it the most. You know what I mean? Because we tend to take for granted what we have every day at our disposal. Because we maybe not take for granted, but we at least don't notice it as much. If we have day-to-day human interaction, or, maybe we do take it for granted. If we have loved ones and people that care about us, and sometimes you just don't seem to notice. But whenever you don't have that, then you do seem to notice more often. And I don't know, both technology and COVID-19 are definitely attacking human interaction. So after such a soul enriching weekend as I've had with all of my friends, I would say be safe or whatever, but get out there and commune with your friends and have a good time. Break bread with your brothers and sisters, and sit around and tell stories, man. It was so, like I said, it was very, very filling. My heart and everything was nice on the drive home. My mindset was good the next day and everything. So getting out of town, getting away from technology, and spending time with people in person, recommended from me for sure. I was, another thing in relation to COVID-19, I was sitting here looking at the news, and I saw pot legalization is paying off in Illinois despite economic backlash of COVID-19. Just 8 months into pot legalization of recreational marijuana, demand is higher than anything Illinois pot retailers had initially expected. With numbers steadily rising for legalized cannabis, Illinois dispensaries sold about $61 million worth of product just in July alone. So that's just July. $61 million in July of this year, and they've only been open since January, obviously. But communities are now welcoming pot retailers and grows more frequently now, as the communities that have are happy that they did, because they're seeing significant tax revenue both locally and statewide as well. Pot tax revenue has already exceeded $52 million, and 35% of that is to go to local governments. Amidst COVID-19, many are finding comfort in Mary Jane, relieving anxiety, depression, insomnia, stress, etc. So, all the good stuff pot's good for. People are finding refuge in that. And also, states and local government kind of using it as a big green life preserver that they're able to hold on to, for financial relief. That's a lot of money though. $61 million in products sold and $52 million in tax revenue paid into the state. 35% of that going back to the local governments that have put these pot shops in their place. So, if you got a bar on every corner, you can say we got a church on every corner too. But if you got a bar on every corner, how is that morally any worse or any better? Than having a pot shop in your town. If anything, I would be more welcoming if I'm a progressive-minded mayor or governor. I'm looking at making that a county-wide thing. Where I can put them wherever. Why make that a separate thing? Like, why make people have to jump through hoops just to put a pot shop in your town? When all it's going to do is just create a better environment, in my opinion. Although I did see some negative marijuana news regarding pregnancy. It says marijuana during pregnancy linked to autism in babies, claim these studies. And basically, they conducted this huge study. They say it's the largest study ever researchers found using marijuana while pregnant. Women who used cannabis during pregnancy were 1.5 times more likely to have a child with autism, said study author Dr. Doreen Elchar, a maternal fetal medicine specialist and clinical investigator at Ottawa Hospital Research Institute in Canada. So this is a Canadian study, and basically they're saying that we are not reassuring findings. We highly discourage use of cannabis during pregnancy and breastfeeding, and they're saying that you're 50 times more likely to produce a child with autism if you smoke while pregnant. And I don't know if that's completely true. I know a lot of great mothers who have smoked while pregnant, and that just seems a little inflated to me. This is from CNN, but I don't know about the Canadian study or the lady from Ottawa, but they're saying 50% more likely to have a child with autism if you smoke while you're pregnant. And I know a lot of great moms that smoked while they were pregnant, at least for a little while, and their babies turned out fine. They didn't have autism. They're bright children, and they, I know plenty of great parents that smoke in their home, and maybe not around the children, but they smoke. The kids might know that they smoke, and they've explained to their kids what it is, and it's a really progressive mindset. But I think that's healthy because it's not what everybody thinks it is. It's not this demon drug. And honestly, I saw one instance today where a mother was being ripped on in the media because her doctor tried to prescribe her morphine for pain while pregnant, and she decided to smoke instead. And her child didn't have autism, but they were saying that okay, your child could have. Okay, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it didn't. So also, like I'm saying, I know a lot of moms who smoked or smoke currently, and their kids are fine. So I don't know if that's like negative pot propaganda, but that's out there floating around. I saw it on CNN, MSNBC, which are typically more left-wing liberal media, but I don't know if that has anything to do with the validity of what they're trying to say. It's a Canadian news source, so who knows? I also noticed that a man and woman were busted with marijuana in Utah, I think, and they face up to 45 years combined in prison. I don't mean to laugh at that, but it's the amount that they got busted with, because that's why they had so much time. It says a Romanian citizen faces up to 40 years in federal prison, and a California woman faces up to 5, both accused of trafficking 341 pounds of marijuana into Utah. On Wednesday, a federal grand jury returned a 2-count indictment against 36-year-old Florin Daniel Gorin of Romania and a 35-year-old Claudia Maria Del Marco from Hermosa Beach, California. According to District of California, United States Attorney John W. Huber with the Department of Justice, according to the indictment, she was driving a semi-truck while he pulled into a Port of Utah entry station, and the truck was found to be overweight and smelled like marijuana. The agent searched the cab, found 11 pounds of marijuana separated into 11 clear bags. They noticed the smell was coming through the vents also into the cab, and then they searched and found the rest. They found 330 packages of raw marijuana in clear vacuum-sealed plastic bags. Officers say they found 1,240 THC vape cartridges, 150 THC chocolate bars, and 126 packages of THC edibles in the trailer. They tested the marijuana to make sure it was actually marijuana. The raw marijuana tested positive for marijuana. That's a real sentence in this article. The lab tested the marijuana to make sure it was actually marijuana, and the raw marijuana tested positive for marijuana. So that is what it is. It's a long-ass article about them. It's unnecessary. But, these people get popped for that much weed. You got a semi-truck full of weed. And, wow. I mean, 40 years. He got 40 years. She got 5, I guess, like, as an accessory to that amount of weed. You're going down for something. But he got 40 years, potentially, in federal prison for a plant. For a lot of plants, but for a plant nonetheless. And she got 5 years potentially. That's crazy to me. I mean, I don't know. I guess in Utah they don't fuck around. Also, coming from the West Coast, I know Kansas. If you go to Colorado at all and you have to drive through Kansas, you better watch out for Kansas State Patrol because they'll pull you over. I imagine Utah's probably the same way, just because they're just east of California. And, a lot of places haven't accepted cannabis in that way necessarily just yet. And, that's crazy. 40 years, though, for some weed, man. I don't know if that payoff is going to be worth it. I've done some stupid shit. We drove some pretty large amounts. And in Utah, actually. Sorry to get some agua. But we did go through Utah. And I remember we were stoned as hell. And we're driving through Utah to go get it, I think. And we're going through like this desert, and I remember looking at all like the rock formations and thinking, man, this looks like the bottom of the ocean if it was dried up, but those were just my high thoughts. But I was thinking, man, like maybe this was underwater at one time. Who knows, man, what the earth did that many years ago, or what it looked like, so I mean, I don't know, I was just looking at the rock formation, seeing like they had like wave marks on them, some of them, and I don't know, maybe I was just high, but really high. But I was thinking, man, this looks like the bottom of the ocean if it was dried up. Another thing I saw, this is Illinois news. According to Kanye West, or according to reports, Kanye West's name will be taken off the ballot in his home state of Illinois, because he's from Chicago. The news comes after it was revealed that more than half of the signatures for Kanye's team submitted were deemed invalid. The review of legitimacy of Kanye's petition to be on the ballot revealed that 1,928 signatures out of the 3,128 were flagged as invalid. A state requires more than 2,500 signatures to have a name officially added to the ballot. Although it is unclear why the names were deemed invalid, some reasons could include ineligible names, non-registered voters, or people providing fake names and addresses. As Kanye West's name will be removed from the ballot come August 21st, White House correspondent and CNN political analyst April Ryan now notes that the controversial figure could begin to subject an election fraud investigation. So Kanye West will also not be permitted on the New Jersey ballot due to faulty signatures in his campaign withdrawals. So it seems like he's going under investigation. I don't think they're going to investigate the state of Illinois for why those are deemed invalid signatures, but it looks like they're investigating Kanye for election fraud, which would be crazy. 2 states actually now. So yeah, Illinois and New Jersey potentially declaring election fraud on Kanye West. I mean, I'm sure he's going to come out and say something stupid about it, but I don't know. I hope my dude don't go down for election fraud. That's one hell of a thing to go to jail for. You know what I mean? Maybe he needs to get in on the marijuana thing. If he needs to just invest in weed and quit trying to be the president and just release good music. Like, he released a song with Kid Cudi, and it was super fucking good. Like, he's still one of the greatest rap producers, hip-hop producers, and rappers of all time. In my opinion, he still puts out good music. I just hate what he does in the light. I hate what he does in the media. And, I don't know. I don't think he deserves to go down for election fraud, though. You know what I mean? One of those things, dude. I've been sitting around, thinking about ways to make money off of the podcast, and I just don't know if it's a good fit. Like, I've seen there's a lot of people that do advertisements and stuff. I'm not gonna come a slave to any particular brand that I don't agree with or want to push. So I'm not gonna be on here advertising fucking soap and fucking hygiene products and shit. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. I mean, every man has a number, I suppose, but I don't really want to do that. I mean, if it's anything related to marijuana, or if I can bring you any type of products related to the podcast or something that you guys would want to rep. I mean, I eventually plan on doing merch and stuff like that as well, just to give away, for general promotion and just for my listeners to rep, and just as a thank you to all the people out there that are giving me a chance and spending your time with me here on the podcast. I mean, I know I generally don't have this thing's running off the wheels and it's a crazy train, and I don't know what I'm doing at all, but I ramble on, and but I just appreciate you guys hanging out and taking your time to listen with me. Faux show. Most of the time, like I said, it's just high thoughts that I'm having and things like that. But next episode, like I said, it's going to be excellent. My good friend CJ Mack coming in the house, and he's gonna lay it on us. I'm gonna ask him some questions. We're gonna go over the history of the Skull Kids and share some stories with you guys. Like I said, I know him well. He knows me well, so it's gonna be a good little interview. I don't expect it to go badly at all. It's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna make some great content. I'm stoked that he's my first interview, and I'm stoked he accepted my offer. And I do plan on having a lot of other people on the podcast from here on out. I plan on planning one interview a week. different people that I find interesting, and I think that can offer good viewpoints. Not necessarily always agreeing with mine. Also, I have friends that have opposing viewpoints to me, and I think it's valuable to have a point counterpoint type conversation or segment on my show. And we're gonna do that as well. But I do want to invite some people that I find particularly interesting. That's the other problem. I get high on here and I can't fucking talk. Particularly interesting, and like I said, that have some good shit to say and teach me. Because there's a lot of people a lot smarter than I am, and those are the type of people that I want to bring on the Big Buddha Podcast, episode 7 in the books. This is a short little one. Like I said, I'm just catching up with you guys. Little update on a little stream of consciousness for you to bite down on until 2 days from now, whenever I record my first ever guest interview with Mr. CJ Mack. And it's going to be a good time, yeah. Thanks for coming by, y'all. I sure appreciate it. My name is Buddha, and I'm signing off from you right now. Don't forget to click on the little like thingy, comment, subscribe, tell your friends' friends, call your mom, tell her, call your mom's mom. Everybody needs to know about the Big Buddha Podcast. Even if you hate it, like I seriously it doesn't bother me. And it could be like, if you're constructive, it could be some like good negative criticism that exists too. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So if you hate my little political rants and you fucking absolutely detest me as a person and a human being, I don't necessarily want you to put all that, but you can write about the topic and put some constructive criticism in my comment box, and I'll appreciate that just as much as the people that are showing love and appreciating what the fuck I'm laying down. But yeah, I might do these little short episodes just to keep the 2-episode platform rocking, but I'm definitely gonna do full hour episodes with my homies. And so I definitely appreciate all y'all stopping by. Big Buddha Podcast, wrapping it up. Episode 7, episode 8 coming later this week. Thanks for stopping by, y'all. Peace, love, conserved water.